Metaphors are a magic doorway into the entangled depths of thoughts, emotions, feelings, meaning, and reason itself. If you can understand metaphors in a way you can understand thinking. Metaphors have a special place in our language. With metaphors, statements that are false, that are literally false, can feel truer than true statements itself. That's why metaphorical statements regularly have a deeper, more meaningful impact on the listener. We use metaphors without even realizing. Most of their usage has become such a part of our vocabulary that we don't even notice them. All the words that are appearing on the screen are metaphors. That is the testament to their effectiveness. They go under the radar most of the time. They go unnoticed. Be that as it may, this is a very new way of looking at metaphors. In the classical linguistics view, in all of history, in most of history, metaphors have been seen as an icing on the cake of literal statements, a poetic add-on, an afterthought. It was commonly thought that human mind parses a sentence in the following way. First, the literal meaning is considered. If the literal meaning does not make sense, it is thrown away. Only then the mind checks the metaphorical meaning. This has turned out to be complete bullshit, as shown by a few cleverly done experiments. Participants were judged on their quickness in detecting whether the statement was literally true or not. It was found that they took more time in detecting whether a statement was literally false if it made sense metaphorically, as compared to those statements that were literally false but metaphorically were also meaningless. Side note: a thing to notice about scientific method is the resourcefulness of scientists squeezing out truth from fiction. They use reaction times in milliseconds to detect the underlying mechanism of the brain. First thing it tells us is how hard it is to know the truth, and secondly it tells us that there is still a lot of things you can do to get the needle out of the haystack. Think about it, the reaction time of test subjects. People think that scientists are not creative. In fact, scientific method is inherently creative because you have to do things like these. You have to figure out some way in which to extract truth from the jaws of noise. Is that a nice metaphor? I guess it is. This experiment clearly means that metaphors somehow undercut the analytical mind and go directly to the feeling sense of the whole phrase. They reach a deeper, more visceral part of mind where the literal meaning of the words and the phrases is not even sensible. It doesn't even matter. In fact, we have to use the word literally. Oh, when I was working in a submarine, I was under a lot of stress. No, literally, there was a lot of stress on me because we were working on a higher air pressure. Now, what does this tell us about the mind? What does this all tell us about the way we think and the way we feel? Synesthesia. Synesthesia is a sort of crossing of the wires in the brain. People with synesthesia see color when they see numbers. Some synesthetes feel that each day of the week is a different color. Monday is blue, Tuesday is green, and so on and so forth. It can differ amongst people. It can be different for different people, but it is more common than you would think. And some synesthetes don't even know that the rest of the population doesn't feel like that. Why am I talking about synesthesia all of a sudden? Is because synesthesia is metaphors on steroids. And we all have a little bit of synesthesia. Consider this very famous example between these two images. One of these is called Kiki and the other one is called Boo Boo. If you are like most people, you would say that this one is Kiki and this one is Boo Boo. If you are like most people. And the opposite just feels weird. This sort of cross modality has other uses. Doctors have been diagnosing pain in patients using a scale from 1 to 10, which can be very challenging to some people because the intensity of pain has to be translated into a number. A better way is to have them control a dimmer switch attached to a light source and ask them to match the intensity of the pain with the intensity of the light source. You can also do that with sound. The higher the pain, the louder the sound. This is a great example of bypassing the analytical mind and translating one type of visceral feeling into another type of visceral feeling without going into the whole middle section of analyzing and giving numbers. Metaphors, I love this topic. I love metaphors and I love cross modality, and I love the way in which it tells us about the mind and though it tells us about thought. And I'm not done with this topic at all. I have an older video that handles cross modality, which you can see right here, where I talk about this device created by some people, some scientists, that can convert sound into vibration patterns and can help deaf people hear. I have a device that I'm going to use and going to try. It's still in development. It's a long process, and that's a very interesting topic to me, and I'm really excited to discuss that with you guys. So if you like this video, if you like this topic, subscribe, share this video, and follow me on Instagram. This is my handle. See you next time. Namaste.